Breaking this morning, however, Quinnipiac University released a brand new national survey of the Republican presidential field. It shows Donald Trump is still in a lead by a wide margin. Joining us now is the national spokesperson for the Trump campaign, Katrina Pierson. Katrina, thanks very much for joining us.
Good morning, Maria. Thank you.
So, interesting, the resiliency of Donald Trump. We continue to see him just riding high, leading the polls here once again from this latest one. Do you worry that his rhetoric in some corners is alienating certain populations, like Muslims, like the Mexicans?
No, I don't, not at all. And I can tell you now, today, the GOP is in full panic mode because Donald Trump is not only on the top, but he actually went up, Maria. And he's winning among women, according to this poll, which is another thing they said would never happen. So, no, I don't think his quote-unquote rhetoric is alienating anyone. He's speaking the truth. He's standing up for American citizens and legal residents here in this country. So the people that are quote-unquote being offended aren't going to be mattering in the election. We have to put Americans first. We have to put security first. We have to put the economy back on track. And this poll, Maria, says he's leading in jobs, economy, and terrorism, all three which are going to be huge factors in the election in November.
Yeah, but putting some of the bombastic things that he says aside, is he really going to be able to beat Hillary Clinton when it comes to substance in the general election?
Oh, I think so. I mean, we hear it from all over. Everywhere we go, there are so many people who have come to Trump, who are supporting Trump because he does have policies. His name alone says prosperity. If Donald Trump puts his name on something, he's going to bring in the best and the brightest to make it happen. Everyone knows this. And as far as Hillary Clinton goes, let's just talk about her record. And think about this, Maria. We haven't even started on her yet.
That's true.
Katrina, do you guys think that you need the Republican Party and the establishment side of the Republican Party's help to win the presidency, or you don't think so?
I don't think we need the establishment. I doubt the establishment's even going to support Mr. Trump or anyone, for that matter, who isn't from the establishment side. History shows in elections past, if their guy or gal doesn't win, they don't support the person that wins the primary. So we're not expecting that.
Okay, is there a pivot in your future, though, where he looks like he's going to be the nominee and there's some kind of rapprochement inside the party, or no?
Well, I'm just wondering where the whole party loyalty situation has gone. There was this big push for Trump being ahead the whole time to sign this loyalty pledge, and yet here we are today where he's still ahead, and we don't see that coming from the other side. So I would assume there are some in the establishment that would want to come and support just because they want to win. Republicans always talk about winning, but when it comes down to it, we see now that they're not going to support their nominee.
Katrina, with Trump in the lead and holding the lead in such an, frankly, easy fashion, why get into these like petty verbal jousting matches, or even on Twitter with whether it's one of the other candidates, whether it's Chris Christie, whether it's calling some Washington Post writer a dummy? I think that was one of his recent tweets. It's at what point is it just beneath him? He's ruling the roost. Just ignore it.
Yeah, he probably should ignore it. But this is the thing. Donald Trump is Donald Trump. He's made a promise to the voters. He says, I'm going to be who I am. And that's what he does. If you go after him, he goes after you. That's no secret. But that's just Trump being Trump.
Well, do you think that could be a problem for him at some point? I mean, the American presidency has had gravitas, last I checked, in the past. And a president, Trump, will be tweeting people as the president, calling people dummies. Do you think that makes a lot of sense from a marketing perspective?
I think by then he's going to be a little too busy to be on Twitter, so I doubt that's going to happen.
So he's not going to be Trump when he's president, but he'll be Trump when he's running for president.
No, he'll be Trump. He just won't be tweeting. Don't misconstrue what I just said. I just don't think he'll be tweeting as president.
Will he be calling people names?
Why will that change?
If this is who he is, why wouldn't you just do that as the president?
Well, I guess we're going to have to see. It's all going to be up to Mr. Trump. But here's the thing. We are not in the old political paradigm. And this is why so many people on the inside are confused about this phenomenon of Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump has made promises to voters to be himself, and he is winning, period.
Good. I just have a quick question. Katrina, is he the only one who has access to his Twitter account? Aren't other people helping him? I mean, other people within the campaign.
There is someone else that does help, yes.
Okay. Yeah. And let me ask you this. In terms of his strategy to defeat ISIS, who is advising him militarily?
He has talked to several generals, he is reading reports, and he's talking to other military officials. There is a huge support among veterans in this country for Mr. Trump, and they all reach out to him.
You know, he said, I guess what did he say? We're going to bomb the XYZ out of them. What did he mean by that? What's the strategy?
Well, I think what they're doing now, which is bombing the oil, he's been saying for quite some time, you have to hit them at their wealth, which is the oil. He wanted to not only bomb the oil, but take the oil, which is something he thought we should have done a long time ago. Why
wouldn't we have done that? I mean, that seems so obvious. But, you know, what do you think?
Well, we were bombing. It seemed like the intelligence was off base. We were targeting refineries. The trucks were a different issue.
Via airstrikes.
They weren't targeting the trucks because of rules of engagement, because they were worried about civilian casualties. And also, we misjudged that ISIS had gotten away from refining the raw product and was just selling raw crude.
Katrina,
so it was a partial mistake on U.S. strategy.
If you could send a message to the establishment, you have 10 seconds, what would it be, Katrina?
I think it would be that it's time for the establishment to embrace its base of voters and embrace Donald Trump. These are voters that they're going to need if they want to win in the general.
All right, Katrina, thanks so much. Good to talk with you. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Katrina Pierson there.